everybody, it's Wendy from Ask the Landlady, and I'm here to talk about real estate investment with you and help you make a great profit. And somebody just recently asked me a question. They had a phone call from their tenant who said, I'm moving out next week, and they were like, oh my goodness, what do? We weren't expecting this. And so it brought a few questions to mind to me. First of all, my first question for this person was, what are your lease terms? Are they out of their 1 year lease? Because first of all, if they're only say halfway through the lease, they're still on the hook for the other 6 months. That's why in my lease, I make it very clear, this is how much your monthly rent is, and this is how much the yearly total is, all bold. I want people to know that if it's $1,000 monthly rental, they don't think, oh, I just owe $1,000 every month. It's a year lease, so they actually owe $12,000. I'm allowing them to make that in month by month by month increments. So if they decide 6 months through, oh, I'm moving, I'm gonna invite a friend, I'm gonna go over here, you still owe $6,000. You're on the hook. That's what that lease is. That is a legally binding document. You can talk to your attorney about ways to try to enforce that $6,000. Now, that being said, if they do move out, they're on the hook for that $6,000. In the meantime, if you rent it out to somebody else, you don't get to get that $6,000 plus that other money where that person moved in. You would maybe only get 2 more months from them, and then lucky you, I re-rented it, and you're off the hook. You can do it that way. You can also go back to that person and say, well, you're on the hook for $6,000 unless you bring me a qualified, ready applicant. And I've had that happen before. People have found another friend or found somebody that wanted a great house and they moved in and it worked out. But they know they're on the hook, and then don't let them off of that hook. Another question that brings to mind, if they say, oh, I'm moving out next week, say they are out of their year lease. Say it is a month-to-month basis. They're still moving out in a week, but they owe 30 days because I require a 30-day written notice. Until I have that written notice in hand, I don't know that you're moving. It doesn't matter who you told. It doesn't matter if you told a maintenance guy or somebody mowing the lawn. Until you bring a note into the office, that's what the 30 days starts. So I would say, okay, great. You want to move out next week? Bring me a note in. I need it in writing. You can even email it. I will consider that writing. And then we'll let you know what that prorated rent is going to be, because you're going to owe 30 days worth of rent. Doesn't matter if you move out in a week. You have 30 days because that's the requirement there. Check your state. Some places may require less or more of that written notice, or allow you to, some places require a 60-day notice. I can't do that in Ohio, but maybe in your state you can. So you can check around and work on those numbers to figure out what that notice is going to be. So when they call in, again, make sure, are they out of the lease or not? If the lease is up and it's just month to month, there's still that 30-day requirement. So the next thing that happens in this move-out process is I provide them with the paperwork. There's a little move-out information sheet. You can just shoot it to them via email that says, this is what you're gonna owe for this last 30 days that you're there, and here's our requirements. And you're gonna have some things in there like, you want the carpet steam cleaned, or everything, everything removed. You might give them a price list of what it costs, to wash down the cabinets or to clean out the refrigerator. Everything has a price, so you want to let them know where your expectations are, that they're up here, and you want them to meet that. Because again, we get a bad rap about Social Security deposits, but my goal is to always give the full security deposit back, and that's because it means you left the place great. It's move-in ready. I might have, whatever. There might be, maybe you lived there 10 years and there's some wear and tear, whatever, but you left it clean, ready to go. And you're going to get that full deposit back, because that's the goal. That's what you want. So in that process of talking to the person who's moving out, you want a forwarding address. Number 1, to give them their deposit back. Number 2, if they left a lot of problems, to bill them. And in my state, we have 30 days to actually process that security deposit. So once they move out, we want to get in there, do that inspection fast, figure out what things are going to cost, figure out if we have to, anything, if we have to turn utilities back on because they left it a mess and it needs cleaned, they're going to pay for that. Everything has that price, because the goal in the lease said clean move-in condition. Anything less than that, then we have a problem. So that's where you're going to need to do that security deposit return sheet. But as part of, as soon as they call you, that process starts. You have 30 days to get them to your goal, which is full deposit back. So you give them as much information as you can to make that nice and clean. Some landladies and landlords go and physically inspect it with the tenant, where they can point out and say, you need to do this, you need to do that, whatever. Or you can wait till they move out and process it and get that to them and then take on the task. And then the clock is ticking. You need to get that turned over and re-rented. So if it's a great tenant, you've inspected this place, you know they're going to be fantastic to work with, you're already working that. You're already posted it. You've got people lined up to look at it the day they move out, or even while they're there if you have a great relationship with them. So those are all things you want to do. You want to start advertising so that you can minimize that time between vacancies. You want one out, one in. That's the goal, so that you can continue that process. So don't panic. There's a great way to go about doing it. Follow along and just plug away at those steps. So again, hit me up in the comments. I want to hear how you've dealt with move-outs, how you've dealt with tenants trying to break their lease. Because again, we're all in this together and we all want to make money and do the best we can. And follow me on my social media and my website, askthelandlady.com, because I've got a book coming out and I hope you grab that and read it and give me more comments so that we can all be better in this process. So thanks. Have a great day.